Yo, I'm Nez. I'm up in the kitchen and I'm about to do another impromptu review on and I shouldn't say impromptu. Well, I mean, I guess it is kind of impromptu because I all of a sudden decided to do it. But it's kind of a long overdue review, I should say, of the Mr. Coffee Cafe Barista. Now, the reason why I'm finally doing a review on this is because I just got that. The review is already online. I'll make sure I'll link to each other so you can see the difference. But the reason why I have them sit next to each other, because I'm going to do a quick review of this and then I'm going to do a head-to-head battle. So you can see the progression and the difference and to see, is it really worth it to get this, because they're similarly priced now. I mean, obviously this came down in price because this was much more expensive than this is right now. When this came out 3-4 years ago, I'm gonna imagine, probably a little bit longer than that. I bought it 3 years ago, but this has probably been out, I'm gonna say it's probably been out for maybe like over 3 years, maybe 5 years. I've seen some videos on YouTube for this from like 5 years ago, so I'm gonna say at least 5 years this has been out. So and when this first came out, I believe it was like 400. I got it for just under 3. I think it was like 250 or something like that. And I got this one for 170. So right now I believe this one is priced around 170, maybe. I mean, depending on where you can find it, you can probably find it for 150. But we're going to determine if it's even worth it to get this one, or should you just get this one. So it's all probably going to come down to your likes. But first, let's do this. All right. So Mr. Coffee Cafe Barista. Okay, the way this works, let me just go over everything for you real quick. Right now, this is what the front of it looks like. This is what this side of it looks like. The water reservoir. I got some water in there already. This is what this side of it looks like. The top is a warming pad. Let me turn this back on so that would turn it off and turn it back on. I did have it on, but I wasn't using it for a while. So, and what this top does, it actually warms your cups. So if you leave cups up there, little mini cappuccino cups, it'll warm them up for you. Obviously, the back right here is the water reservoir. The water reservoir pops in and out. You can pull the whole thing out, or you can just pour water directly in there, like so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to empty this water out because it's probably been in there for a while. And so also so you can see the back. And that's what the back of that looks like. So we pour this water out. Okay. Give it a little rinse. And put some cold water up in here. Has a little max fill line on here. I'm going to turn it around so you can see. See, it's a little max fill line. So, you know, telling you not to fill it up past there, obviously. Okay, that's good enough for our purposes. And then when you go to slide this back on here, you're going to make sure that it's in the hook there and it slides down. Bong, just like that. All right. So now, as you saw, I thought you saw a couple bubbles going up. It's sucking water down into it right there. Okay. So I'm going to turn this back around. Now, the first thing you notice when I turn the power on is that these started blinking. Now, when they started blinking, that means it's warming up the water. Now, I'm going to turn it back off and turn it back on again so you can see it. I'm going to pull that out real quick. Okay, right now it's off. Okay. Turn it back on. Well, it's not blinking now because the water is already warm. But that's what it does. It'll start blinking, well, flashing slowly just to let you know that it's actually warming up the water. And then when it stops flashing, that means the water is already warm. Now, right now, you see that only one is lit up. That's because I pulled the reservoir out. Now, with this reservoir right here, the milk frothing reservoir, this is what she looks like going around it. This is where the hot milk comes out. This goes inside, all that stuff. And this is the adjustment, so you can adjust it. Right now it's set to clean, so you can have it self-clean itself. You can adjust it to cappuccino, latte, just froth, you know, the intensity of the froth, however you like it. If you like a lot of, I usually leave it there because I like a lot of froth. And then when you bring it down here, that's set to clean. So after you finish doing all your coffees, you want to run a clean cycle through it, just so it can get some hot, steaming hot water through it to kind of get all the, you know, milk or cream or whatever in there out. So that way it's not sitting there getting hard and caked up. Of course, there's your max fill line. This is your This is your adjustment knob to adjust the angle depending on what kind of cup you have, whether you have a little tiny cup or a regular size cup. So now as you see here, when I slide this on over here, so now you see the other ones light up. So basically what that's saying is that the only thing that's available to you without this in there is espresso, because obviously just a shot of espresso, you don't need the cream. When you have this in there, now you have the option of having cream or, you know, your froth and all these things, whether you want a cappuccino, latte, bong. Now, one thing I wanted to point out to you, that this has an auto shut off. If you don't use it in the specified amount of time, not exactly sure the exact amount of time, it'll automatically shut off as you've seen before. Okay, so this is your cup area right here. Obviously, you can bong like there. There goes your locking mechanism for the tools over there. We'll get to that shortly. This is your drip tray. You can, your excess fluids drip in there, and then it could be cleaned out. It could be cleaned out. This whole thing pulls right out, rinsed out. This right here, also, you pull it out, like if you have like a small cup you want to set up there, bong. So it can reach the milk frother, same thing, pull it, clean it out. If you're not using it, slide it right back underneath it. And it does actually come out, so you can make it easier to clean. Okay, up in here, I don't know if you can see up in there, that's where you're going to put your attachment for all your coffee grounds. Okay, now, this right here is your attachment for your coffee grounds. Now, right now, this is the double shot that I have in there. Now, if you turn it around, you see it goes in there. There's a little doohickey there. One right there on that side, one right there on that side. Basically, there's a spot in here, right here. That's how you're going to put it in. It doesn't go, it goes in a certain way, bong like that, and then you give it a slight turn, that way it don't just pop out, okay? And you put your grinds in there, your fine grinds in there, and then it comes with your scoop and a little tamper. Now when you put your grounds in there, you just give it like a light tamp, it's kind of like even it out. You want to press down really hard, because you have to take in consideration that the water has to flow through all of it. So if I'm breathing hard, it's because it's getting, you know, it's getting a little warm in here because I just cooked. So anyway, you want to tamp down your grounds, bong, like so. It's a little light tamp, just to more or less you're just evening it out. Now this is a double shot. Hold on, I have a single shot one too that I rarely use. Just give me a second. Actually, the one that's in here is the single shot. This is the double shot right here. Wow, it's a little deeper. Bong, like so. So that's your double shot. Just so you can see the difference in the size. If I can get it out. See, that just goes to show that these things are in there. You just turn it around a certain way. Bong, literally double the size, amount of grounds. Okay? Okay, bong. Okay, so I got that in there. Then another little tip that I wanted to show you guys, that this right here, so after you make your coffee, you have the grounds in there. You want to dump the grounds out into a cup or a sink. Make sure you flip this little thing right here to hold it. And so that way when you want to bang them out, it makes it easier to bang them out, because sometimes as you start banging it, it kind of turns and then this whole thing will pop out and grinds all over the place. And then if you happen to have a garbage disposal in your sink, this can fly down into the disposal. So make sure you flip that in there when you're going to bang the grinds out. All right, this is a little tip. This cup right here also comes with it. It's you know, so if you want to do your, you know, your frothing into there, and then you can just pour it out on top of it, or you can have it set to where you have it froth directly into the cup, however you choose. I usually use it just to put it underneath there so that when it doesn't drip down into here when I'm done making the coffee, so that way there's less cleanup. All right, that's just what I do. All right, like I said before, you got your little warming plate up here. Now this is another tamper that I had bought. This is back when I thought that you had to actually press down really hard to tamp the grounds. So I bought something that was substantial with some weight. Then I realized I don't really even need it, but I have it. Obviously the different size, you know, espresso machines, because I had a big one and a small one. Mine fits this one perfectly. So sometimes I use it. Sometimes I'll scoop it out with this, tamp it down with that. Just a little touchdown, just to, like I said before, just to make it even, and then we're good to go. So now that we just did a little quick overview, I'm trying to think if I think of anything. That's pretty much it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little something. So I got some fresh ground, you know, fine. You want to make sure you use fine ground. Now you could buy fine ground espresso, ground espresso beans in there, or you can grind your own. You see, I have my little machine over there. I just ground these fresh. So this these cappuccino lattes I'm about to make is going to be extremely fresh. All right. So what I'm going to do is get me out a little bowl for all my grounds, because there's about to be quite a bit of it. Okay. I'm going to have my little perfect scoop, which I'm gonna do a review on this next. Here, we open this up. So now when you make a cup, bomb. Right. Get my little tamper just to even it out. Move all the stuff from around it. Now, what we're going to do here is, let's get that vantage point here. You got to make sure right now this way is unlocked. Okay, so we're going to put it in this way right here. Sometimes you gotta, and you see how it goes up in there like that. I'll show you again. All right, let me push that out the way. You put it up in like that, bong, and then you turn it, bong. Now it's locked. All right, so now that that's locked in there, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna brew us a cup. All right, and you're gonna see how long it takes. I got the double shot in there, so I'm gonna do a double shot now. For this right here, basically you see boom, boom. So that means each one you press 2 of what you want. If you go down here and you press 2, it's gonna automatically give you froth, and you know, your cappuccino, same with the latte, you press 2. Now, for this one right here, if you hold it down for a couple seconds, then it'll go into the clean cycle. That's when you wanna make sure you have this down on the clean right here. Okay, for when you do your cleaning cycle. Okay, so right now I'm about to put this up to froth, and then we're going to do a cappuccino real quick, and then you're going to see go through the motion. Okay, all right, so 1, 2. See, now it's starting. Now you're about to see. Bung. That's a double shot cappuccino right there. Bam. See? And that's how it comes out. That's what she looks like when it's done. See? That's not that bad of a deal, right? Now, let's just say I wanted some more froth. What I would do is I will hold down the froth button for a couple seconds. And then it's going to start heating you up some more froth. And put it in there. Just like so. And it'll keep going either until all of the cream runs out and it can't, or if I tap the button again. Oh, I didn't even show you. To just tap it and then it'll stop it. Or it'll just kept going like I showed you until all the froth goes. So that's how that worked. I usually give it a little tap there. And then now what I do is I pull this out, set that there to catch my excess, and there goes your double shot cappuccino with extra froth. Bomb. Okay, so now I'm about to be wasteful now. Let me stop this, and then we're gonna come back in with another video, and I'm gonna show you a latte and then espresso, or vice versa. So see you on the flip. Okay, we back in. About to do latte this time. Tap it down. Lock it in. Okay, this time we're gonna, right now that I have that on cappuccino froth, I guess I could put this over here to latte just so you can see the difference. And I'm gonna do is tap this twice. 1, 2. Double shot. Latte uses a lot of milk, as you see. Look how cool that looks. Bong. And there you have it. A nice latte. Bam. So now what we're going to do now is we're going to move this out the way so I don't accidentally make a mess. Okay. We're going to pour this out, pull this out. Set that over there for the time being. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull it out in this change. Turn it like that. Bong. Now make sure when you put that up there, because this might happen to you too, that this isn't up, because when you have that up, it won't go up there. So if you ever are trying to get that to go up there and it won't go for no matter how much you turn it and finagle with it, try pulling this, try looking to see if this is up, because if this is up, it'll never go up there. So you got to make sure that's pulled back. Okay, I'm making a mess over here. That's what I didn't want to do. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to turn that around and dump that out. Give her a little rinse. Bong, like so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out. If I can get it to the right thing. And put the single one in there, because what we're going to do is we're going to do a shot of espresso. Okay, bong, just so you can see what that looks like. We don't need that much. Now, for the shot of espresso, what we're going to do is use the pre-warmed cup that I have here. Now what we're going to do is pull this out. Bong. The only thing that I have a problem with this is you just got to make sure it's lined up just perfectly, because if not, you'll have coffee pull out. So I just kind of like look from the side and make sure it's lined up perfectly from the side and the front. Bong. Now what I'm gonna do is just hit single shot, and all we're gonna do is just get espresso, no froth. Bong. So if you need an extra little jolt in your cappuccino or latte or whatever, put yourself another little shot in there. Bong, just like so. So now as you see different ways to make cappuccinos and lattes and espresso, now what we're going to do is we're going to go through the little cleaning cycle here. Now let me put this, let's pull that out. Now, what I like to do for the cleaning cycle, bong, move that like that, so any drip drips out of there. And now what I'm gonna do is pour the milk out. Well, pour the milk into a cup, because I could use that in my next one. Okay, so you give her a little rinse, bong, like so. Or like if you know you're just using different flavors or something like that, you don't have to give a little rinse. You could just, I'm just doing it just for the whole cleaning factor of it. Move that to the side, out the way. Now let me get these out the way. Bong. Just set that like that for now. Now, what you want to do now is make sure you turn this all the way around to clean, and then you hold down the clean button for a couple seconds. And now what that's going to do is basically pull water and run heated water through it, just to clean out the pipes and stuff like that. That's all. And it'll keep running until you either run out of water or you hit the stop button. I usually run it for about 10 seconds. Or should I say, it runs for about 10 seconds. Oh, I thought I was hitting the stop button, but bong, you get the gist of it. You press it, you hold it down, it'll start running, and it'll run until it stops. So it went through a little clean cycle, and bong. So now I just cleaned out all that muck and stuff, dumped that all out. Bam, good to go. So now we're all done. That was a long, lengthy review. You know, I told you it was gonna be quick, but you know, I figure I've had plenty of time to use it, so I know exactly how to use it. So I go over everything that I know about it. So with that being said, this has been the 3 year later impromptu in-depth review of the Mr. Coffee Cafe Barista. I'm Nez. I'll put the links in the description if you want to cop that. And I'm out this piece.